Okay, solve the equation x to the power 4 minus 2x squared plus 1 equals 0. Now when you look at this, it sort of gives you vibes of like a quadratic equation. But of course we've got power 4 here, haven't we? You know, power 2 here. So it's not quadratic, but we need to actually deal with it in a similar way. But what we can do is use a substitution to sort of help us here. So what I mean by that is let's use a different letter. So any letter, let's for example use u, and let it equal to that term there, okay? So in other words, okay, I'm going to let u to be x squared. So if I was to rewrite this, okay, let's rewrite it backwards, okay, so I have 0 there, plus 1, but that then would become minus 2u, yeah, because I'm replacing x squared with u. But if I'm calling x squared u, we've got to think then, what will x to the power 4 be? And, you know, of course, if you think about it, if we square x squared, we would get x to the power 4, wouldn't we? If we just apply a power 2 to this, that gives us x to the power 4. But if I'm squaring this, of course, I've got to square this side as well. So x to the power 4 would actually be written then as u squared. And then if you see this then, I've got a simple quadratic, okay, that we would obviously like to solve, okay. Now, we can factorize this, I believe, yeah, so it would be u minus 1 equals 0, okay. And then we've got a repeated solution, so we can say then u minus 1 is equal to 0, and u would equal to 1. Now if u is equal to 1, that means we've got a lovely solution to this quadratic, yeah? But remember, we were trying to solve this quartic here, as we call it, equation to start with, and we couldn't deal with it, so that's why we used a substitution by calling x squared u, and then we are in a lovely quadratic and we get a solution out. But remember, this solution is not for x equals, and we want to solve this. In other words, we want x. I've got u, but we obviously we want x, and we've got u here. So what we're going to do is go back to my substitution, okay, where u is equal to x squared, and of course then put the value in for u, so x squared will equal to 1, and then from there then I can actually work out what x is, okay, so obviously then I square root, and we know square root of 1 is just 1, but remember when we square root we need plus or minus 1, so essentially then x will equal to 1, or x will equal to minus 1.